in the previous video, I shared what I said that are two of the most powerful spells. And the reason why they are the most powerful is because they are healing spells. Healing spells are actually the most powerful spells in all of the universe. And the reason why is that healing requires learning. When a bone breaks and it is knit back together, there is a learning that happens in that fracture healing. When a wound heals, the skin is learning how to reknit itself from intrusion. When your heart breaks and you remend it and learn to live again after betrayal or abandonment, you learn more about life. So the reknitting and the mending is the greatest force of organic consciousness, because consciousness wants to grow. Just like a plant, just like an animal, it wants freedom and it wants to grow. And you cannot fight this force. And unfortunately, we are seeing that in a lot of the dark magic of religions in this world, which utilize domination and control over others to control people's habits, to separate them from their innate intuition and their own body's consciousness, to separate people from what they feel is right or from discovering something on their own by giving them too much information too fast and not letting them figure themselves out in the mix. We are creating a society which people call the patriarchy, but what it is that it's a society of hierarchy where someone knows more than another, and the person who knows more gets to dictate what everybody else believes under them. And this is just so ridiculous if you look at it on a biological evolutionary perspective. So there is a quote, it's actually in the Bible, which is interesting, but it's from a very famous philosopher, Medice. Sorry, I'm trying to say the English word. It's doctor, a physician. His name was Hippocrates, and the Latin phrase famously is Medice, Cura te Ipsum. Healer, heal thyself, or physician, médecin, or doctor, heal yourself. Now, in the Bible, it was said by Jesus. It was a quote from him responding to people who were asking him to perform miracles, and he gave that retort. There's a lot to this quote because the premise of Medice, Cura te Ipsum is about the fact that you cannot really heal other people until you heal yourself first. Philosophically, energetically, that, a lot of what healing is, it's internal and it's metaphysical first before it manifests as physical. So one of the things you can do if you are in a situation, you're surrounded by people who are really struggling and you're struggling along with them, and you really don't want them to struggle. You want to protect the people you love and you want to heal the people around you. And yet you also don't want to send out a spell to control others, because that's going to just keep feeding this patriarchal engine. What you do is you work on your own energy body, and then you allow your energy your healed energy to naturally radiate just as it normally does. And we see this all the time. We just don't even recognize it. Have you ever been around somebody who's been through some really tough stuff, whether they got back from war, they had a very demanding job, which they had to face a lot of danger, and they were really good at what they did. They were very confident, they were very skilled, and you felt so much more confident in their presence. The reason why is because that person ingested fear. They ingested the energies of fear and of shock and terror, and they healed it within their own energy body. So now they exude calm and power and confidence. Not false calm, and I'm not talking about false calmness and power and confidence. I'm talking about real warriors who do the work and who have faced terrible things and have sat with therapists and learned how to reopen their hearts and heal after the tough situations. They are beacons of courage for people. And if you get the chance to be around one of those people, you will naturally feel more courageous in their presence. And the reason why is they were able to take the toxins and the darkness of fear, pass it through their body, just like one would pass an antibody or like a vaccine through them, and their body heals against that toxin. They create an antidote, an energetic antidote in their body, and it exudes out into the collective field. So here's a really great example. Let's say you're in a crowd of people and everybody is afraid. Everybody is afraid that something bad is going to happen. And it's just something specific. I'm not going to name it here, but it's something specific that's floating around. So what you do is you close your eyes for a minute. You breathe in because you've got it in you. You feel the anxiety too. You're feeling it with them. You feel that anxiety find where it is in your body. Now, the 2 spells that I put in the previous video, you can do one of those 2 spells to help you. Or if you don't and you're just you, imagine you're breathing in that dark, toxic energy and you surround it with belief and love. And you can call in your higher self or whatever you see as God, source consciousness, light. You can see it as light, but you call it in and you imagine that it's going to be okay. You start working and it'll look kind of like a dark shadow ball of shadow. It might actually be hard. It might be spiky, but you start softening it with light. You start integrating it. You surround it with love and with light, and eventually it gets smaller and smaller, and boop, it dissipates. And it turns into something. It might even turn into a color. You may see it turn into a spirit or an animal, and it floats through your system, and you naturally exude now hope that this situation will be okay. Now, you won't be able to negate everybody in the situation. It depends on how skilled you are in this type of transformative energy work, but the more you practice, the better you get at it. And I've noticed that in my own life, I have been able to de-escalate any kind of situation, no matter how much fear I felt, no matter how much the other person was upset. I felt what they were feeling in my body. I found the place in my body where it was resonating. I surrounded it with love and source consciousness and my higher self, and I gently massaged, surrounded, and was able to dissolve it into something that is more knowledgeable and more wise. Sometimes whatever comes out of that transformation process is actually more wise and will give you an insight on how to act differently in that situation than you have before. So if you find yourself in tough situations, work on healing your own field of energy. You are going to do so much good to the world than by trying to control and vanquish darkness. Remember, Medice, Cura, Ipsum. Even Jesus thought it was wise.